Foley here for Hooked Boxing in association with Undisputed today here with Frank Warren for what is one of the biggest fights of the century, or you could say the generation. It's a rematch. It feels a bit bigger this time. It's good to see you, Frank.
It does, because you know what you're going to get. You know, it's such a great fight. Biggest heavyweight fight of the 21st century. First time of unification of the 21st century with the 4 belts. Fight of 2 halves, exciting, split decision. You know, it ticks all the boxes. I mean, it was just fabulous the first time around, and it'd be every bit as good the second time.
Why do you think Tyson has what it takes to get it done this second time?
He's won every rematch fight that he's had, and he stops them in rematches because he's got a great boxing brain and he knows what he has to do.
Tyson said that he believes he needs to knock Usyk out to win the fight. Do you feel like that's because of his perception of how Usyk fights, or do you think it's more the judges' side of things?
Look, we're going to do the best we can with the judges, and I expect the judges to be impartial. And if the judges are called for, to do an honest decision.
If Tyson wins, are you in a situation where Usyk would want the rematch from his side? He would probably want
listen, if he wins, depending how he wins, of course everyone will be looking for a rubber match. It makes a lot of sense.
Because the ideal path was for the Joshua Dubois winner to fight the winner of this, and now we're seemingly going to get the Joshua Dubois rematch. So 2 rematches, a lot of big money fights. The fans won't be complaining with those rematches.
We'll be complaining.
They won't be complaining.
Good. That makes a change. We don't want no one complaining. It's exciting times in the heavyweight division.
Complaining.
The last 12 months have been unbelievable for the heavyweight division, for the Riyadh season, the fights that have taken place. I read out the list of it on the stage, all the different fights. How can anybody not be happy? It's just unbelievably the best time for boxing.
What did you make of the Hitman outfit Usyk wore to the press conference today?
Yeah, it's quite. I thought he looked like a Bond villain.
Yeah. Frank, there was actually something I wanted to ask you. Bob Arum done an interview with Dan Rafael at Big Fight Weekend, and he spoke about His Excellency in the Riyadh season, sort of the higher ups with His Excellency sort of having an opposition against Riyadh season doing shows in such like LA and London, and sort of them not being really happy with it and potentially not really seeing that in the future. I didn't know if you knew anything about that.
First I've heard of that. How would he know? Is he speaking to people high up?
Well, it's just what Bob Arum said in an interview.
Next one.
Frank, what does Tyson need to do differently in this rematch to get a decision for you guys?
Win.
And Moses Tower on the card. I mean, excellent step up against Dempsey McCann. I mean, huge platform to showcase his skills to the wide.
It is. I mean, look, he's on the undercard of a great show, a great fight, and a very highly anticipated rematch, no doubt about it. I'm sorry I was being a bit glib or whatever, but you know, it's a fabulous fight, and Tyson's got to be at his best to win, and so is Usyk, because he's going to be fighting a guy who's at his best in Usyk.
Frank, do you feel that Tyson coming off the back of a loss for the first time, out looking for revenge, do you feel like he's a completely different beast entirely? You've never seen him coming off the back of a loss before.
Well, I couldn't even tell you that, because I've never seen him come off of a loss before and how he reacts to it. But all I know is he wants to fight, he can't wait for the fight, and he's so up for this. He's so up for it. You see him, he's jumping out of his skin. He looks fit, and he doesn't go into camp till tomorrow.
Frank, I just wanted to ask you about a claim that Simon Jordan made on Tosspot, sort of talking about yourself and Eddie Hearn almost using bullying tactics towards Ben Shalom. How do you react to that?
Well, I'm not a bully to start with. I don't bully anyone, but I take exception when somebody sets up a thing on a press conference where they asked Eddie from the Zone to ask Eubanks why he signed with Boxer, and obviously it was set up. And the guy who was with him, what's his name? That guy who
Majid,
whatever his name is. He was the one who said, "Oh, it wasn't me. They told me to ask. Get him to ask that question." So, what do you think I feel about him? He's a tosspot.
Frank, excellent fight between Dennis McCann and Peter McGrail, one of the best fights in British boxing.
It's a great fight. Yeah, really good fight. Competitive fight. There's no love lost there. I was standing in between the two of them. A little bit of dialogue going on. It was quite interesting.
Perfect. Cheers, really.